Okay, so you've got the thinnest band that you have possible. You loop it around a vertical beam, or any way that you can loop it up, ideally a little bit above the shoulder will be good. And then you grab hold of your band, you walk forward, and then what you're going to do is rotate the palm facing up. And this shoulder here is squaring to the front. You'll feel a big stretch through the front of your shoulder. You then rotate your palm facing down, and you bring your arm down through the back entire touch. So if you look at the movement from here, from the back, imagine the hands attached to the rubber band. You have your hand facing out, you square your shoulder up, that stretches up the shoulder. You then rotate your hand down, bring it in, and then you get in the internal rotator of that shoulder stretching out, and then the external rotation. So what we're going to do is take your time with it. You're going to hold the stretch at the top, 1, 2, 3, rotate it down and through, reach for the opposite shoulder blade, hold that, 1, 2, 3, and that's 1 repetition, and then back up. 10 reps. Yeah, and then square the shoulder in, take the arm in behind the back, can you feel that? And then rotate it back out again. Awesome. Cool. Obviously, the further away you walk from it, the more challenging the stretch will be. So you decide what. So with the chin up, you adjust your rings up as high up as you can reach. When you come up into the chin up, you can start by pulling up from a dead hang. So you're going to start learning to pull from the bottom to the top, not jump up like you have in the past. You've been jumping up and then lowering down. So you're going to go from the bottom here. See, I'm activating my shoulders. So activate the shoulders, pull up and down. And you're going to go for your maximal chin-ups. At the last repetition, when you can no longer do any chin-ups, you're going to hang, but not just hang, you're going to hang with a shoulder depression down. And you're going to hold that hanging position for up to 10 seconds. And that's what you do with the chin up. Your goal is to build up your chin up, so build it up. The first goal is to build it up to 6 repetitions of solid chin ups up and down. Okay, so the hip aeroplane is a really good external rotator exercise of the glute. It also builds the twisting torque pattern of the legs, so like for when you're running, etc. So what we can do is we can use a pole or a beam or something just as for a little bit of help with the balance for it, because there is quite a bit of balance involved. So I'm holding onto the stick, but I'm very lightly holding onto it. I'm not like hanging on for it for dear life, right? So the first position is to hinge over at the hip. So if you look at the side view here, it's like the further you go down, the better the movement is here. And then from here, we call it an aeroplane because it's like an aeroplane winging up. Another movement, our name for this is fire hydrant, like a dog taking a pee on a fire hydrant. But all of the movement is coming from this hip here. So you'll see here, I'm bending over as much as I can. I'm bringing this knee in line with that knee. I've got my lower back erect and I'm backing out. Boom, 1, 2, 3, and then bringing it back to center. This knee, it's imperative that when you rotate out, you don't let the knee fall inward. So as you're rotating outward like this, you consciously twisting this knee outward. So you're getting the natural arch in your foot, feeling that 1, 2, 3, bring it back to the center. At all times, maintain that nice neutral curve through your lower back. Don't let your lower back slump over like that. This one will really turn on the outside of the glute, which is very much responsible for holding that knee out, and really good knee exercise. Okay, so for the pike press up, the bonus about this is it really stretches out your ankles too, but also gives you that really strong overhead pressing. Now with the overhead pressing, with your fingers, if you have your index finger facing forward, but with a little bit of a twist of your index finger facing in, so you could see the index finger would be pointing towards the triangle that you want to shape. So there's the bottom of the triangle, the index fingers, they'll meet at that point. If you draw an imaginary line, that's your triangle. And what that's going to do is bring the upper fibers of the chest into the party a little bit more, and that will make you a little bit stronger in that overhead pressing position. So locking the elbows, finding the point where you know, okay, that's going to be where the imaginary line trajectory of the fingers and the index finger would go. So from here, when you're at this position here, the start position is to just drive back and see how I'm rotating my elbows out, I'm pushing my head back. So here I'm creating a bit of a shoulder stretch, but I'm getting a really big calf stretch out there, yeah? So holding that, 1, 2, 3. See how I'm lifting up onto my tippy toe. So now I'm bringing the weight forward. See how my shoulders are shuffled forward. Tap my head in the ground, drive back up. Now there may get a point where you get to this point here and you go, oh my God, I actually can't get back up again. So what you can do is bring your knees down and then drive up and drop set it like that. So your eventual goal is to get 10 repetitions out, but what you could do is drop set it. Let's say you get to like 4, and then you start using your knees to drop set you to 10. And over time, you'll have to use your knees less and less and less, and that's how you're going to progress that one. So you'll okay, so for the lunge pattern, you're going to get your rubber band on, and you're going to stretch your rubber band over your head like this. You see how I've got my arms down just in line with my shoulders to create that big bow effect. So this is a massive stretch in the shoulders, yeah? From there, you're going to take your lunge position. I'll show you a side view because I actually want you to go to the back leg being like pretty straight, yeah? And straighten-ish the back leg. Yes, you have to bend the back leg, you're rotating in and back up again. So you'll see here, when you rotate, if you're doing left leg forward, I'm going to rotate my right arm forward and get that twist in this torso. 1, 2, 3, and come back up again. And 2, 2, 3, and come back up. So what this does is it gives you the mechanics of running and twisting. So as you run, you twist and drive forward. So it mimics the mechanics of running. So this creates a lot of elasticity through the body, but at the same time that elasticity is opening up that naughty upper chain part of the body that hunches over. So to really open up the shoulders and open up all the fascia through the front of the body, incorporated with the lunge pattern. It's a really clever movement to keep you open and springy at the same time. You're going to aim towards 10 to 20 reps per leg. Okay, so for the front lever pull, really good exercise for swimming because it develops the pulling pattern that the lats use when you're going in your strokes. So here's what we're going to do. You got the rings at sternum height, you jump upside down, you secure yourself by putting your feet against the straps, and then from here you're going to slide down, touch the top of the feet in line on the top of the ring, use your lat muscles to pull yourself back up again. And that's the movement there. Slide down, tap, pull back up again. And you're going to go for your reps. Your eventual goal is to build this up first, and we'll try to get to that 5 reps and eventually build it up to 10 reps. Squat, but we're going to put in a side lean over there, which is going to really help with your shoulder mobility, and it also keeps you into that horse stance, sort of takes your focus of just sitting in there. So the horse stance is extremely good for all of the groin area, all the mobility over here. This sort of unlocks the muscles that get real tight from sitting in chairs again. So as you're sitting really deep into that horse stance, as deep as you can, you see I've got my toes facing out here. I'm sitting down, hovering down, and then from here, this outside hand reaches up. See how the hand reaches out to the front, and I'm reaching over, stretching out. I'm securing with this elbow, reaching 1, 2, 3, and then I'm coming over to the other side. See, this arm reaches up, and I reach over. 2, 2, 3. Breathe in. 3, 2, 3. What you want to do is make sure that your spine doesn't fall forward when you're doing it. You want to keep that spine upright when you're doing it. Keep your chest up. So only come down to the horse stance that suits you. The other thing you want to do is make sure that when you're hinging over, you breathe out, draw your belly in. You're aiming for a minimum of 10 reps and then building it up towards 20 reps will keep you in that horse stance for a nice long time. Really load up those hips. Okay, so with the rings at about knee height, you're going to choose the position that's comfortable for you so you can get good form. You want a good form means that you can lock your abs in. And also at the top range of motion, you see I'm turning the rings in and forward. So you're pushing the shoulders up and through, turn the rings in and forward, turn the rings in toward each other, and then stretch down. You want to get that maximal range of motion at the bottom, full range of motion, butt tight, abs tight, being able to push, drive up through the shoulders. When you're pushing, you shouldn't be hiking your hip up like that. You've got to keep that hip in line with the shoulder at all times, keep it stiff and locked in. If it means that you have to make it easier and just walk a little bit forward, keep your abs tight, your butt tight, stretch it out, keep the abs tight, get the stretch out, drive it at the top, lock it out, feel that pause, 1, 2, 3, come down to the bottom, feel the pause, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to aim to do it at a level that 10 is quite challenging. So you could potentially start a little bit back and then move your way forward as you get up towards the 10 rep range. Okay, so for the next leg exercise, you can use either the beam or the vertical beam, or I'm just using a stick here. So what we're doing is a lateral side kick, which is going to kill two birds with one stone. We've got a lot of stability coming off the leg that you're standing off. And then when you're moving up laterally, see how I'm bringing my knee up really high up first. And then I'm leaning over to the side, keeping that knee nice and straight by twisting this knee outward. And I'm bringing this leg up and leaning up. And then you're pushing the leg out. And you see I'm flexing the thigh. 1, 2, 3. And then bringing it back up. Get that knee nice and high. Reach it over. Squeeze. 2. See how I'm rotating? Watch the ankle when I come up to the side. So I'm up here. And then when I come to the side, I don't have to stop there, but I push the ankle up, and it's like I'm kicking someone with my heel, and you feel that will fire off this glute muscle so much more effectively. 1, 2, 3, bring it up, bring the knee nice and high. You're essentially trying to get higher and higher and higher in your side kick as you can. 10 reps on either side, building up to 20 if you like, holding it up for the 1, 2, 3 pause. Okay, so the last circuit is all about your spinal strength in extension and flexion. So the first one is extension. So we're going to do the Superman first. So the Superman is your hands up in front of you, and you're going to lift up. See, I'm squeezing my butt cheeks, and you're like lifting up, so just your belly's up there. Your goal is to hold this for a 30-second pause. Once you finish that, you roll onto your back, and then you do the hollow body pause. Legs up, arms up, back flat, locking in. You may have to make it easier by lifting your legs up, that's fine, but make sure that lower back is super flat and you're holding that for 30 seconds.